Hi everyone, and welcome back to Sit in It for a Bit on a Sunday with Arne and Carlos. And we are, as always, your hosts.
ARNE CARLOS.
And we are back with our monthly podcast, which is really not really a knitting podcast. It's more of us talking, you knitting.
Yeah, because we have so much to say.
We have a lot to say, but we do bring in the knitting as well. Today we're going to show you a lot of stuff, a lot of projects that we've designed and that we've been working on, and we've got great stories to tell you as well, as always, right?
We have some good ones.
We have some good ones today. We'll save them for later, though. I think it'll be a nice thing to end with. But yeah, spring is definitely here, and as you can see, it's not sweater weather right now.
No, even this is warm.
Yeah, Arne just started complaining about it being too warm.
I just sat down and it's warm.
And then he ripped his shirt open, and what do I see?
I don't work here.
Well, I think you're doing, you're working all the time building all those fantastic things that you like building for us.
Yeah, now it's so fun to do the kitchen garden. Some of you might see the short on YouTube or on Instagram where we started to build hexagons for the kitchen garden. Yeah. And that is so fun.
Yeah, we are certainly inspired by the quilting, the English paper piecing, which is the hexagons that we sew together by hand. Yeah. And you came up with the idea of doing the flower beds as hexagons, and then we're going to unite them with paths of gravel, and then inside we will be planting both vegetables and flowers, because you need one for the other. They're actually codependent.
Yeah, there's actually books about this.
Yes.
We should look for that. I got something on an email I think that was from Gary.
Yeah.
My uncle in Tacoma.
Tacoma, yeah. And yeah, you need flowers that will not attract little insects that won't eat the veggies. So marigold, for example, is...
Yeah. But we had that last year, but the problem was we were traveling so much, and even like we put on watering in the kitchen garden, and the timer is too long. The shortest time is, I don't know, maybe half an hour. So everything is soaking wet. I think we need help to keep the kitchen garden alive.
Yeah, but I suppose we can. We do need help. But I also suppose we could get another kind of timer.
Maybe there are other kinds.
Anyway, we're gonna be planting our vegetables together with plants that will repel little insects that otherwise would eat the crops, and then we need to get things to attract butterflies.
Yeah,
and things like that.
We got a lot of seeds for that, and I planted a few of them already. So we're gonna put that in between.
Yeah,
I think it will be very nice if it works, and we have people who will come and keep an eye on the garden while we travel, because we're traveling so much again. That's why we are not every Sunday or Wednesday anymore.
Anyway, it is a work in progress, and then I can't wait until it's ready, until the whole garden's done, and then Eric sends up a drone.
Oh, that could be.
And then we'll see the blanket of flowers that we are creating in real life. So we've got the blanket of flowers in fabric,
and then
we'll have a blanket of flowers in real life. Yeah. Anna was very, very pleased with the little short that we posted. And she asked if we could do a longer video about that for everyone. And I think we will.
I think I was so happy with that. And then we posted it on Instagram and hardly no one saw it. I think it's because the first picture was this hexagon thing.
But on YouTube, a lot of people saw it.
A lot of people saw it. But I think it was genius.
Yeah.
I just wonder, I want to see how long it takes before I see other people do it. Because it looks so good.
Yeah.
But you have to have a certain distance between the hexagons, because you're going to move around with the wheel, what you call that?
Wheelbarrow.
Wheelbarrow. So there will be like bark, I think it's called in English, in between. But it will be so beautiful.
Yeah.
So that is...
so we'll keep you all updated. Yeah, we'll keep you all updated on the progress this summer. It's part of the Pajama Gardener series that we usually do. We've barely started pajama gardening. Actually, no. We've been pajama gardening since the beginning of April this year.
But not in a pajama.
No, because it's been relatively cool. But spring is about 3 weeks earlier than usual. And so the garden is still not in bloom, obviously, living in Norway and up in the mountains. But I think that, we're going to England in a couple of weeks, or in a week. We're going to the UK. And by the time we get back towards the third week of May, actually, no, we're here in the end of May. It will all be spectacular. And yeah, we see the buds and the leaves are coming already in the birch trees, which is usually the last
thing. We are the last one to get it. But it's so nice now because we still feed the birds. They get the last food now from the winter. So there's so many birds in the garden, and we also have all the ducks, different kind of ducks. So that is so nice. Like there was 3 male ducks flirting with this female duck, and 2 days later, one was the winner. It was cool to look at them, how they were dancing like in the water and a little bit of fighting. And we have seen the goose, the
Canada goose are back, unfortunately.
But we haven't I've seen them once in the lake. I think they're nesting somewhere.
Yes, they are definitely nesting.
And we have had white swans this year, 2 times we've seen them.
Yeah.
That is not something we have every year. So
yeah, and I was drying myself after a bath and putting on my bathrobe, and I looked out the window, and I saw the water bubbling, and then up came a very cute duck.
Yeah, that's so nice.
And then down again, a black and white one, really nice.
Yeah, maybe that's the one, because that's black and white. There were 3 of them.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
flirting.
That's the one.
And when they do that, their head goes back like this. And they probably make a sound, but the windows were closed. I didn't hear anything. But I do more bird watching now since we have the extension on the house.
Well, yeah, you've got a perfect room now.
Yeah, I look
You're so close to the water.
down on the lake.
And me too. When I'm in the bath, I look directly.
It's very nice.
On the lake. Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah. And other than that, we've been busy with our projects. As always, people do comment a lot on that, how we can keep up and do everything we do. I mean, we're designing, we're traveling. We're doing stuff in the garden. We're doing the hexagons now for the garden. As the kitchen garden, I have worked and cleared. My part of the garden is completely cleared now, and we're just waiting for things to grow. And as that is, and if that is not enough, we've got all our projects indoors. We decided, actually, we've been discussing it for many years, that we had to do something about the ceilings. In some of the rooms in our house. And the first one that we did an overhaul on was upstairs, where we have a sitting room / TV room / library. We call it a library.
Sounds nice,
but it sounds very pretentious.
I think we had that discussion before.
Yeah, we've had it. Yeah.
And people said library, I think.
Yeah, so we painted the walls in setting plaster from Farrow Ball a few years ago. It was in 2022,
and
3 years ago.
Is pink.
It's like a dusky pink. Yeah. It's very nice and very peaceful. Farrow Ball describe it as a great big hug, and I agree. That's the feeling you get because it's such a warm, beautiful color. The ceiling was painted in white a long time ago. We used another Farrow Ball color called Strong White, which was a very cold, very cold color. So when we painted the walls in set in plaster, we knew that there was something wrong with the ceiling now.
Yeah,
it didn't look right.
No.
And finally, we did something about it a couple of weeks ago, and we painted. It took us 2 days, and we actually painted the ceiling in Farrow Ball's setting plaster as well. So we have that great big hug of a color on the walls.
Same color on the ceiling
and the ceilings.
The walls.
And then we took the another color called Pointing, which is a warm white, and we used that to paint the around the windows and inside the windows and the skirting board on the floor. So we got that color done. And then we've been looking at alternatives for this room. And if you have a good eye, you may have noticed that something is a little off above us. And that is the color that we have chosen to paint the door.
Yeah.
And the frame of the door, and then also the skirting board around the floor. It's really nice. I don't really know what this color that we have here is. I don't think it's Farrow Ball. I think this is from 15 years ago when we painted this room the first time. We painted the walls in India yellow, and then we left the rest as is. But we have, I don't know, these white colors can...
Yeah, I think it's too much because we have different colors in every room. The kitchen is white. Whitish. No,
It's green.
It's green.
Yeah.
I haven't been there for
You don't cook much, do you?
I don't cook much. No, it's green. White with green.
It's James White Farrow Ball, which is a very light
That's
green.
the only white room now.
Well, it's green.
Green. It's the green
theory.
room.
Anyway,
But that is okay with white.
But this color is the same color that we have in the ceiling, and as you can imagine, it's very cold, and it just does not
The white one.
Yeah, the white one. It just doesn't bring the yellow to the level it should be. So we chose this kind of, it's a gray green. It's called Old White. It's also Farrow Ball, and it says on the website, it says...
we should be sponsored by this.
We should, yeah. It says, this soft gray simply earns its name by being the most historic of all our whites. One of our traditional neutrals, all white can read as a subdued green, particularly in north-facing rooms, but feels more of a classic gray in well-lit spaces. It is the most sophisticated of colors and feels just at home in the drawing room of a historic house as it does in the kitchen of a modern family home. And I feel that it's a very elegant color to put with this green, with the yellow.
So it's the last time you see the white door.
Yeah, I love this. I love this combination together.
And the roof will be pink.
Pink ground, which is
another pink.
It's a lighter version of setting plaster, and it is pink, but it can also read as white. So
we tried it up there.
Yeah. So hopefully.
Okay, but there will be a lot of colors.
Yeah, and then in the other room, the walls are in Hague blue. We are painting the door on the other side and the skirting boards also in Old White, because we figured that that way we get to it'll become more cohesive if we have the same color in both, because this door opens inwards, so that'll be good. And then the ceiling is going to be in Teresa's green. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. It's kind of like a mint green.
Mint green.
It's really nice.
I think it will be very nice. And that color back there, it's dark blue. You've seen it on the Christmas videos.
Yeah, it's very dark blue.
And like in the winter, at night, it almost looks black. Yeah. So it's really beautiful. And then the white ceiling is very white. So,
yeah.
What was that?
I think it's your phone, but we're busy, so we'll take it when we're finished.
Because it's the garden thing.
Yes.
Oh, they want to tell us if they can come and help us.
We have a big, we're going to do that. We're going to pick up the color tomorrow in Oslo, and we're going to film on Sunday with Eric and Anna and PJ, and then we're going to paint the ceiling and everything in this room before we go to the UK on Saturday. So that's how busy we are.
So when you see this, it's pre-recorded.
Yeah. And so on Monday next week, we're going to paint, and hopefully it'll take us 2 days to paint the ceiling and the skirting boards and the door, hopefully. But we got all this to do. This is going to be...
that's more.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time taping it. Yeah. And then we have another project, which is gravel. We have purchased some beautiful gravel in warmer colors.
Because we need colors also in the garden.
Yeah.
Not only gray.
It's beige, gray, a little red. It's got these lovely colors. It's ocean gravel, and we're bringing it in, and we need a crane to crane it into the garden. And then we'll get the workout of our life with a wheelbarrow and shoveling and So another one of our big projects.
So I called the store this morning. What's to call those stores?
The Home Depot, kind of.
Yeah, and because I know
it's Maxbo in Norway.
Yeah, they have this car or truck with the crane.
Crane, yeah.
And they have brought sand or the stones into the garden before. Yeah. So maybe
the problem is we haven't bought it from them because they couldn't deliver that. So we bought it from someone else, and now we're looking to get a crane. But maybe you did tell them we were willing to pay.
Yeah, I said.
Exactly,
if we can pay.
As
I didn't say come and do it for free.
Right, as long as we, considering what we buy there, I mean, for the extension and all this.
We get, last 2 years, we got Christmas gifts.
Yeah, because we've been good customers.
We don't spend so much money building. Gardening.
Anyway, for those people who came here for the knitting are probably going to be quite annoyed with us right now.
Yeah, because we
it's
haven't talked
15
about
minutes
it.
and we haven't talked about knitting yet. But remember, this is not a knitting podcast in the sense that we don't knit.
It's you who
knit.
sit and knit.
Anyway, we will talk about knitting, and Arne will talk about his organization skills, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to show you. This is almost embarrassing, because on the last trip we did, I was knitting this.
Which is a traditional Setesdal sweater.
Yeah, because this is, I'm making the same model as the one I bought in the thrift store in Bergen a few years ago with a very nice embroidery, but the knitting was so bad and the yarn breaks. So I was making this on the last trip.
Yes.
And when I came home, I was thinking, this tension, this is a bit too loose. It didn't feel right. So I decided to take it out. And then I started a new one on a smaller needle. So this is a needle 3, the rib 2.5 and the needle is 3. And this is better. And after doing all this, I looked through the project, my project bag, or not bag actually, it's like a wooden bucket thing. And I found
your project bucket.
And I found this one. I had actually made the body and forgot about it. So I have now, I have 3 bodies.
Well, actually, you only have 1 body, but you've got 3.
But good I found this
sweater,
one, because if not, I made another one on this needle and unraveled this one. And
yeah, but then you could have given me one.
yeah, but
it would have been a lovely gift.
Yarn for the sleeves.
Oh yeah, right. It would have been a lovely gift.
It would have been a lovely gift. But now I am unraveling all this.
Yeah.
And this is good, I think. Yeah, I made it a bit longer, so you also can wear it. So this is for the 2 of us.
Yeah.
And
for those who are not very familiar with Norwegian knitting, we've done a series on knits from the region of Setesdal, where this sweater comes from. Arne has connections to Setesdal because his maternal grandmother was from there. And they're called, actually, they're most known as lice sweaters because they have the little dots. The little dots are, the purpose is, of course, to carry the yarn to create a double layer that will be water repellent and warm. And the traditional name for this little dot in Norwegian is lus, which means lice, the insect lice. But there's no connection to the insect.
No.
It's just the name.
It's the name.
Yeah.
So, but now I'm gonna take the embroidery off, the one I bought in the thrift store, and copy the curve on the neck and stick it and sew and cut out the fabric, and then I can sew on the embroidery.
Right, yeah.
Because the embroidery was very nice, but the sweater was not nice.
And traditionally they are knit in black with the pattern in white, and then they've got the embroidery, which if it's done by hand, it's very expensive, and not many people know how to do that kind of embroidery, because it's a craft that is passed orally from mother to daughter, and they all keep their secrets at home. So a lot of people don't know how to do this if they haven't gotten the traditions. And then you can get the machine embroidered ones, which aren't great.
Well, this pattern is probably from the 60s or the 70s. And
the bands that you have, are they hand embroidered?
They are hand embroidered, because those patterns came with a chart.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
And
so it's a DIY kit.
Yeah, and a description how to do it and which color you should have.
So
that is homemade, not a professional.
So slightly better than the machine embroidery, but not quite
much better than the.
Not quite the traditional oral tradition.
Because the yarn is thicker. Because I don't know, people like to do things quick.
Yeah.
So you go for thicker yarn to make it quick. But it works for, I wouldn't use this for the folk costume because it's too thick or too heavy. And the embroidery is not good for the folk costume. But with jeans.
It's a nice sweater to wear here in the countryside where we live.
It's very nice.
On a cold day in winter. Although those are getting less and less.
Less and less cold.
We haven't had cold weather this winter as we have had in the past. And we haven't had much snow either, which is the reason why everything's so early, because the snow melted way earlier than what we were expecting.
Yeah.
And our neighbor on the other side, she said that this year, because she's got a flat roof, which is crazy here in this part of our country where there's so much snow. And she said this year she didn't have to pay anyone to shovel the roof. It was all, you know.
I have to go down for a while.
Oh, okay.
Where are you going? I'm disappearing. My yarn.
Oh, he lost his yarn. Sorry about that.
I'm back.
Okay.
No. So it's, but it can be sweater weather in the middle of the summer also.
Yeah.
If it's just a few, like 6 degrees Celsius, then you can have a sweater in the evening. But now I have yarn all over. This one belongs to. I give up. So can you show what you did this week?
So next time, no, not yet. We're going to save that to the end.
Save that to the end.
So next time Arne says he has control over where everything is, I'm going to say, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
No, but I like to think I have control. But now I'm going to get more control because I won the auction. I got a desk for my workroom. So now I will have one drawer for ongoing projects. I will have one drawer for my genealogy paper. I will have one for all the stash that's on the table, like pencils and post-its.
It's a bit of beautiful brown furniture. It's an English desk. It's in 3 pieces, so you've got drawers on 2 sides, and then drawers on the desk as well.
It said 3 pieces, so hopefully we can get it in the car.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
I think we will. We just have to bring a lot of
fingers crossed.
Blankets.
Hopefully we'll be able to get it in the car and get it here in in 3 pieces actually. But yeah, it's a nice desk. Arne really wanted it, so I encouraged him to bid more than he was thinking, and he won. I mean,
but
you're a winner, baby.
I'm a winner, but I'm learning because I also saw a bookshelf because I need a brown bookshelf for my workroom.
Yeah.
We'll see how that works out. But I can't pay as much as I did. I have to be smarter when I do the bidding.
You do.
I have to wait longer.
These auctions can get out of control if you get carried away, which we didn't with the desk because we had a set price of the maximum we were willing to pay. Well, I was anyway.
But you hope
and then
you
I
can
encouraged Arne to spend that money, and then he got the desk and he was very happy.
But you hope you can get things cheaper. But you know, there's always people waiting, like me, until the end. So.
But it was a good buy.
You wonder what this is?
I'm very curious about what that is.
Because, you know, I have these scrapbooks, and this one is all getting full now. And it's not, they still have the pages here, but you see they look like this after a while. So they look beautiful in the bookshelf. And I just saw this. This is so cute. I'm going to show you. So look, this is paper dolls from Carol.
Oh.
And I cut them out and put them in pockets in the back in the book.
Cute.
So when you travel and if you're bored, you can work on your paper.
Are you ever bored?
No, not really. Here's another one. Look how I cut it in the text. Isn't that kind of cool? So you can read the story about the doll. And there she is. She's hiding. There's a lot of clothes in there. Are you impressed?
Very impressed. And what about this? Why is this here?
So no, because I have a pile of these books that is already sewn, but I have to put covers of them. And then I have this t-shirt. I've been using this for how many years?
Many years.
Many years. And there's holes in it now. So
it's Looney Tunes, I think. Bugs Bunny and the Coyote and the Roadrunner, right? Beep beep.
But since it's a t-shirt, I'm going to put on this. I found this old Flisseline. So I'm going to iron on the Flisseline.
And Tweety, the Tweety bird.
Tweety and...
Bugs Bunny.
Yeah. And Sylvester. Is that the cat?
Yeah.
So I'm going to put Flisseline on this to make it more sturdy. And I've prepared the book covers. So I'm going to glue this t-shirt.
And then where does this come in?
Oh, that's another. I have so many projects.
You do, yeah.
This is I have two of these. This is something I found in a thrift store. It's something people put in the kitchen as decorations in the old days.
Hideous.
I think it's so
ugly.
cute. But
Not for your project, it's cute. For the kitchen, not
no,
so
but
much.
you take it out. Like there. I'm going to take it out because this head is inside the crochet. But this is just some very fragile plastic. It's already broken up here. And I use this as decorations on my project bags. So I'm going to use this old kind of glue, or you take glue for wood and sawdust and you mix it up so you get like a porridge. And then I'm going to put the porridge in her head so she doesn't break.
Ah, okay.
Because I'm going to put her on my bag. This is the project bag that I've
Well,
used.
I better not do that because it's going to break.
Don't break her more. This is the project bag I'm using when we travel. I try to put on places we've been.
Yeah, we've been in a few places.
There's a little bit Dolly here. Dolly, we haven't been to Dollywood yet, but Dolly. But I'm gonna find when this one is ready. I think she will be on the side like this.
Oh.
With that wooden glue thing inside, so she doesn't break. I have another project bag with one, and I use something similar, but that's the one you buy in the store on a tube.
Right, yeah.
Fugemasse. I don't know what that is in.
I don't know. It's all very technical that I don't know in English the words.
I know what it is in Norway, but I can't tell you in English. But you use it when you fix wood, when you do the carpeting. So this is something I have to finish now before we go to England.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm going to do it later.
Well, we've got next week as well. We're here. Today's what? Wednesday? Thursday?
Yeah.
Today's Thursday. This podcast is pre-recorded on today, Thursday the 8th. And we're leaving on the 16th. So yeah, you've got a little bit.
I have time, but
a little bit more than a week.
Yeah. And then I can
go.
sew it on when we travel. But these are actually cool. On one of our cruises, we went to Honningsvåg, i Brønnøysund. And in the yarn store one time we were there, they had a pile of these heads.
For sale.
Wow. And I didn't buy them, and next time I came, they were all gone.
Oh.
So people are probably still doing this.
Yeah, you got to be quick sometimes.
Sometimes.
The things just run out immediately. Yeah.
Yes, so that
like our
was,
cruise with Hohi, by the way.
Yeah, that sold out very quick, so we have to, I don't know. You think she want to do it again?
Well, we hope so.
We hope.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. It's a collaboration cruise. We're doing Hohi, Locatelli, and Arne and me in March 2026. And we met her the first time in Buenos Aires in January. And we hit it off. She's lovely.
She's
very
so
fun. Lovely.
Very nice.
So we figure, why don't we do something with her? Then we get to spend some more time with her, getting to know her better. And I'm sure everybody's going to enjoy her company as we will. And the most fun part is actually that we decided that, because we're going to do a mystery knit-along for the cruise. And we decided to do it collaboratively with her. So we're going to co-design it together with her. We still haven't started it yet. No. So it can go any direction, really. But our starting point was to send her some yarn and then allow her to play with it for a bit and then see what happens. And then we'll take it from there. And we have no idea how this is going to go. We've done one collaboration like this before, and it was with Comme des Garçons in 2008. And we designed the pieces with the Space Invaders, and then Comme des Garçons put crystals on them, Swarovski crystals. So it was that was the way we collaborated then. And after that, we've never done a collaboration again.
We did one with Urban Outfitters.
No, it was more of a capsule collection.
That was a capsule collection.
So with Comme des Garçons, we designed, and then they added.
Yeah.
And we're thinking, how are we going to do it with Hohi? Are we going to let her design something and then we'll add to it? Are we going to let her design something and then we'll complementing it by designing another thing? We don't know. But I think
it was fun because we picked some colors and she wasn't used to those color combinations.
That'll be a story for the people on board the ship.
Yeah, the people will know.
We'll tell more about that story there.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah, but yeah, we're very, very excited. And apparently everybody wanted to go on this particular cruise.
Yeah.
So it got filled
It seems
pretty
like
quickly.
people are traveling more. Like in Norway now, we heard in the news that the tourism, especially from America, has risen enormously. So it seems like people are ready for more traveling.
Apparently, there are many reasons for that, but one reason that is kind of something that we've known for a long time, but people are just finding out, is that the Norwegian currency is very low, is very weak. It has been weak for years now, and there's no real explanation. The experts here try to figure it out, but they haven't come up with an answer, because we don't have a financial crisis in Norway. We don't have unemployment. I mean, our unemployment is under 2%, and our inflation is under control. So it's really not easy for the economists to come up with an explanation. But the fact is that the kroner is very low. So even though this used to be one of the most expensive countries in the world, because of our low currency or weak currency, the rest of the world has caught up. And Norway is no longer expensive, considered expensive anyway.
So it's expensive for us.
It's expensive for us to travel abroad now.
Yeah.
But it's not expensive for people to come to Norway. And I think more and more are discovering this fact.
Yeah.
And so more people want to come.
And you know, we have one of the world's best vinyl record stores in Oslo.
We do. According to
the New York Times,
right.
I think it was. It came on the list of the best vinyl record stores in the world.
So if you're
That's one of my favorite vinyl stores.
If you're into vinyl records, you gotta go to Oslo. Our friend Bruce, he was.
Yeah. So if you see this, Bruce, you've been in one of the best shops
according to the New
in
York
the
Times.
world.
Yeah, he walked in and he just said, "I don't know. I don't think I can do it. It's so amazing here."
It's only secondhand vinyl.
Yeah.
Maybe they have just a few new ones, but mostly it's secondhand. It's really nice. It's called Rock and Rolls.
Yes.
So if you're in Oslo and you're into vinyl, you have to go to.
It's just behind the Parliament building.
Yeah, it's like
behind
if you
Parliament.
walk the main street of Karl Johan, the parade street or what you call it. There's like a park, and
then there's a parallel street on the other side.
Just cross
it's
the
there.
park.
Yeah,
it's very nice.
So speaking of Oslo, last time we were on, I believe we talked about that book.
Yeah,
that cost a fortune, and that you were considering buying anyway. And I was encouraging you to buy it because, you know,
and I
it's
got
good.
it. It's
and
good.
Arne got it.
It's beautiful. Look at this.
Worth every penny, I would say.
And I got a good price also, and I got another book with it for free. But these books, I have some of these before from other regions in Norway, and they are copies of the original.
Yeah.
So there are these
or reprints. I would think.
So there are these like planscher, posters inside.
Would you show one?
Yeah, with
Can
colors.
I also see it?
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, it's beautiful.
Or should we take this one? Maybe?
Oh my God,
so
it's so beautiful.
The colors on this. So if you see, this is the colors are so much nicer in the original book than in the new prints. So this is worth, and it's even gold on top.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that before.
And I would think that it's quite old because it actually mentions Oslo as Christiania.
Yeah, so
Christiania is the old name for Oslo. So
this was a gift for someone in 1952.
Yeah, but
and here's a drawing.
But when was it printed? That's the question.
That's
the question.
It's printed in. It doesn't say. What's this?
1900 and
MCMX.
It's probably in the back.
Why do it simple when you can do Roman symbols? So we don't understand. No, it's not in the back.
Anyway, it must be old because it mentions Oslo as Christiania, which is the old name.
Yeah, it says Karl Mayers Forlag, Christiania.
Yeah, so 1900 and what would that be? MC.
But and there's a drawing here. Maybe someone who owned this before have made this drawing, inspired of something in the book. And this is from 1923.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah. So this was a gift for someone on Christmas Eve 1952, but the book is older. because, and it's the second print. Oh, 1909.
There we go. There we go. I wasn't getting there, but yeah, 1909.
Yeah.
So the book is from 1909 when Oslo was named, was called Christiania.
So, but this is
Beautiful.
beautiful, and there's also black and white drawings.
Yes.
This is a bed. Let me see. No, it's, what is this?
It's
It's a cabinet
yes.
with this wood carvings, and everything in this book is from Gudbrandsdalen. So that's the area where I'm from, but like the main valley in Gudbrandsdalen, because I'm from a valley that like's on the side between here and Gudbrandsdalen. So it's also Gudbrandsdalen, but it's not in the it's not in this book.
Yeah. A magnificent book that is wonderful inspiration for our work.
A coffee table book for my new desk.
For your new studio, for your new desk, and something we will most definitely use
I already
one way or
started.
another, but we won't tell you because we do need to keep a few secrets
But
as
I
well.
already started.
Yeah.
So we have a nice project coming with inspiration from this.
Right. So speaking of design and inspiration and stuff, we did work on we had a nice episode here on our YouTube channel 2 weeks ago on the cable scarf. And we thought we'd show you, we're mainly known as knitwear designers for color work, but there's a lot of cable as well in the Norwegian knitting traditions, because we do wear a lot of stockings when we wear our folk garments for special occasions. Yes, so this one is inspired of...
So these patterns,
yeah.
inspired of the wood carvings, and if you look through this book, there are loads of wood carvings, and I tried some of them, but they're really hard to transform into cable.
Yeah.
But that's also something I want to look into.
Right.
But that takes time.
That takes a long
because
time.
you have to try.
Do you have an example to show, or
Yeah, you have to try.
Yeah, you come right into it.
There was just another one, but it takes a lot of time to understand where to move the stitches. So, yeah, this is maybe over the top.
Yeah, this is very over the top, but just to give you an example.
But look, if you look at all these carvings, that is something I've been looking into.
Right, and then the question is, how do you take that?
How?
And how do you translate it into a knitting pattern? A cable, for example.
But you have to simplify it a little bit and just take elements from it. But it would be fun if we can make it.
Yeah.
But you probably seen another collection with it also, with felted tweed and kid silk case from Farrow Ball, where we actually use the rosemaling, the rose paintings like this.
But that was in color work.
In color work.
And that's
with
much
inspiration.
easier.
That's easy.
But the problem still is, when you look at a design, when you look at something in a picture or drawing, it's not very easy to translate that into color work, because the more detailed it is, the bigger the design would be when you knit it up, right? So a little coat of arms with the very intricate motifs would grow because of the number of stitches and the size of the stitch. So you always have to simplify it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same as the cable, but the cable is even more complex, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that need to work out mathematically
Especially
as well.
if you go for these
Yeah.
kind of things.
But anyway, this is the
is
one. This
more
is
simple.
the simple one that we did, inspired by the carvings,
Wood carvings.
wood carvings. But you would actually see things like this in traditional garments here in Norway, like stockings, maybe shawls,
Yeah, but not so
No.
much, I think.
maybe mostly stockings.
Yeah, stockings.
Yeah.
Mostly stockings.
And then we have
There was a tradition for shawl. My father told me about that, and he had a name for them, but I don't have no clue. I don't remember. And I asked him before he died also one year that if he remembered the name of those shawls, but he didn't. But that was like every old lady, they were walking around with these big triangles, and they were so big that you could put them 2 times.
Yeah.
Like they crossed in
Right,
front,
yeah.
and then they tied them in the back under that little triangle that was falling down. So my great-grandmother's sister, when she came to see us, she was always wearing that in the fall and the winter.
Here we have another, it's more lace than cable, I would think. This one, or is it cable? Cable?
It's more lace because on this one you
But
just
it's
do
cable
yarn
too.
over.
It's cable too, isn't it?
No, this
No,
is
it's
just
lace.
a knit
Oh, okay.
and purl and yarn over.
It looks like a little cable,
before
though.
yeah,
I mean,
but
it
comes
does.
out like that because you do the yarn over and two together.
And this definitely would be something you could find on men's stockings here in our
This is more like the cable
country.
you find.
Yeah.
But on the stockings, it's a normal cable.
Right. Yeah. But this one's super simple to do. This was quite fun to knit,
This was quicker.
and also fun to design this one here.
This one was a bit harder.
Yeah. And then
to
you
figure
have
out when you have the pattern, it's not hard, but when you to figure out how to do it.
And then this one here is actually inspired from something else. We went to Italy 2 years ago. We went to Isola Bella on Lake Maggiore, which is a part of the Borromeo Islands. Isola Bella is one of the Borromean Islands. And at the Borromean Palace, they have white peacocks. And they have this amazing display of feathers, which is just breathtaking. And we took some pictures of them, and then we decided to take the peacock feathers and
because this is an old traditional pattern, a lace. It probably has another name, or.
But you actually changed it into this.
No, I don't think I changed much there. No, this is the traditional pattern that I thought was matching the top of the feather on the peacock. That's why we called it the peacock. But you know, a lot of these patterns doesn't have name in the old days. Now they probably have, but it's an old traditional lace.
Yes.
Actually, I found it in a book from the 1940s. It was a black and white picture, so you couldn't see what it was. So I just tried. I tried to knit the pattern from the written pattern, and then there was something very strange that I didn't understand.
Oh, okay.
So then I had to figure out what is this, and I think I made it the traditional way.
Oh, okay. I thought that.
No, nothing I came up with. This is an old traditional pattern.
And last but not least, the chains, which I really love.
This is something we came up with. And it's inspired of Svalbard, and because that was a mining town in the old days.
Yeah, so this is what the chains look like.
Chain,
It's very cool.
What do you call that, chetting?
Yeah, chains.
Chains, yeah. And we also did the dicky with the same chain.
Yeah, the dickey's here. Let me show that. I'm not going to put it on because I have a microphone on and it will just make a lot of noise. But yeah, this is the dickey that we have. And then we've done a few sweater designs as well.
Yeah, and you might think you've seen this before on a sweater, but on the sweaters we did for Rowan, the Svalbard collection, there's also a kind of a chain, but this is another one. This is also an old traditional chain, which is so much easier to make than this one.
Oh.
But it looks almost the same.
It does, yeah.
I found that cable in my stash in my old books.
Yeah.
So I think that we can use. But so we put it in with more colors.
Yeah, and we got another one here.
So this is like intarsia. So you have to knit it back and forth because of the stripes.
Right.
So
very nice.
I think it came out nice.
I love this sweater.
And this one is quicker than this one.
Yeah. So this is like the old style, and this is something we redesigned, kind of like a chain. I like those chains. They are very
I think
pretty.
it's so fun, and we have a very nice project for the garden tour, which I'm going to work more on. I think that it came out really nice.
But
so
we're not gonna
new project.
This is a big
Another
secret.
project.
Yeah, it will be
surprise.
It'll be a big surprise. So anyway, a little bit of our cable work that we've been doing. Right now, we're offering a discount on the scarves. So go to our website at arnecarlos.com, and you can get all four for the price of two. So that's a pretty good deal, really. So if you want to knit cables or lace, these are a lot of fun to do.
And you prepare for the winter.
And you start now and finish them just.
Well, we're always preparing for the winter.
And then on a final note, Arne, we're going to talk a little bit about my big
your big project,
boo-boo or whatever we're going to call it, my issue.
And you were so afraid.
I was afraid of telling you. Yeah.
Telling me.
So I had an accident with the washing machine. We got a new washer. It's not even a year old, and it's very modern.
Too modern for
and
you.
it's got a lot of things in it. So I was gonna wash some sweaters, and usually I would put the wool program, but I accidentally put the. I don't even know what program I put.
No, show that one first.
Okay.
Because
So my little store-bought sweater is now.
but look, maybe it was time to
Yeah.
throw it away.
It was time to throw it
Or
away. Yeah.
you could mend it, but
Yeah.
there's holes
But
everywhere.
yeah. So this is my store-bought sweater that I used around the house with holes in it. No more, obviously. But that's not the worst. The worst is Arne's brioche sweater. That used to fit him so well.
I didn't know that the yarn felted that much.
Yeah, it used to be an oversized sweater. Yeah.
And it was actually starting to be worn out on the sleeves. So
Yeah.
my plan was to knit a new cuff
Yeah.
because it's
Not anymore.
worn out.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
So you can all imagine the look on my face when I opened the washer and I just took them out and I was like, and I think I waited 4 days before I told Arne.
And I saw a
oh,
video
God.
on Instagram, someone who had the garment that was shrunk in the washing machine, and
Yeah.
they soaked it wet, and they started to pull it out. And on Instagram, it worked.
It did?
I tried in the real world.
It didn't work.
I didn't manage to.
Yeah.
I tried.
Anyway, I have apologized a million times. Arne, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I'm so
I think it's
sorry.
kind of fun, and I have a
Well-
project for us.
Well, you know, one of these mistakes, you only do it once. Now I know what the wool program looks like. But it is, I mean, this machine has so many things on it. It's like a computer that...
But Carlos, it's not the end of the world.
No.
Because we have Magnus. I found him.
Can he wear it?
The Magnus the mouse he's felted. I made it on a very thick yarn
Yeah.
and needle 4, and then I stuffed him with like synthetic thing because then it bounces out again. He got very, what you call these things? It's very tight,
Yeah.
but it
Limbs,
doesn't
yeah.
limps, and the tail came out nice.
Yeah.
So he shrunk in the washing machine, and he doesn't have clothes. So I was thinking we can customize these for him,
Okay.
but we have to.
Yeah.
We can just cut the sleeves; they won't shed. Or
No, probably not.
so now Magnus has got his own brioche sweater.
It's a little big, though.
Maybe
It's a little too
we
big.
can
then.
cut it and sew it.
Maybe we can put it in the washing machine again and
Try
see,
one more
see
time.
what happens. Oh, God, yeah.
Or maybe it's too big. Oh,
I feel so bad about that. But c'est la vie. I mean, we've all done it once. I mean, this was the first time I've done it.
yeah.
So, yeah.
I think we
it's-
can cut it all open and customize it, or put it in the washing machine one more time.
Sure. We'll see what happens.
But you're not the first one. You know, my grandmother, both me and my grandmother, we made the same sweater back in the 80s. And this was a very complicated garment from Husfriden, and it was knitted in a pure, very fine wool. And it was 2 strands at the same time.
Okay.
But the pattern had bubbles because
wow.
sometimes you knitted the 2 strands one and one. So you got bubbles. It was so much work. And she put it in the washing machine.
Oops.
It was smaller than this one
Yeah.
because of the fine wool.
Oh, God.
So
Okay. Anyway, on
happens.
that note, thank you for making me feel a little bit better
I hope you
about
feel
it.
better.
I do feel a little better.
you should.
And I've been hearing the pling of the dryer, or the washing machine, because we are, you know, laundering, washing clothes today. So I think that
Check if
this is
there's
the
any
perfect.
knitted
Yeah,
garments
no
in it.
knitted garments, only t-shirts. But anyway, this is the perfect time to finish up this podcast, which we hope that you have enjoyed. And if you have enjoyed this, enjoyed
If
it,
you haven't.
please give us a big thumbs up. Make sure to interact with it. Comment on things. We do come in and read comments all the time, so we will see them. Yeah, and that really helps us as well with the algorithms here on YouTube. So make sure to engage, like, comment.
And you can be a member.
Right. Yeah.
If
We
you-
we also have a membership area of the channel. The revenue from that goes towards supporting the channel financially, so everybody can get the free episodes that we post. And there's lots of fun things to do there. We do weekly catch-ups with us. We have shenanigans. We do cooking episodes. We're about to do an update of the garden for our tier 2 members, which is going to be done this weekend. There's live streams where we give out knitting help, and also advanced registration for our knitting cruises, which is a good thing because nowadays they are getting more and more popular. So it's good to have the possibility to have an advanced booking on that. So yeah, lots of fun things there. So feel free to go and look up the join button, and then you can read about it and all the tiers. If you don't want to become a subscribed member, it's okay. Just become a subscriber of our regular YouTube channel. We do post things here every 2 weeks, and it's all free, of course, and we will continue doing that for a long, long time in the future. So yeah, so thank you so much for watching. And we will be back with a new Sit in It for a bit in June.
Yeah, I think I have to go back and do gardening. My
Yeah.
hair suddenly. Okay.
What does your hair have to do with gardening?
It's been I've been sewing those hexagons, so all the dust is up
Oh,
there.
you mean you've been making
The
the
sawdust. I've
Oh,
been making.
oh, saw. Oh, I thought you meant sewing.
No, the garden
Saw.
hexagon.
Oh, with the saw,
Yeah, the
sawing,
saw.
sew.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for you're so good in English.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again very, very soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.